I come from a musical background, and naturally I took up music quite early on when I was very young. My mother, my grandmother have both been musicians. My grandmother is a composer, my mother is a singer. So, music was very much a part of the household while growing up. But tabla was not the first choice that was offered to me. Being in the society that we are, you don't send women or girls to a tabla class. So as a 5-6-year-old, my mom sent me to singing classes, and somehow my interest was always in rhythm. And one day my singing teacher calls my mom and says, you take her out of my class. And my mom was rather surprised, saying, what happened, kya hua? And she said, wo aati to hai mere class mein, par dhyan pure baju ke class mein hai, because that's where they're teaching tabla. So that was this kind of first thing for my mom, saying, oh, okay, she's really interested in tabla. And I guess that's where my journey began, and I started learning tabla at, the age of 6. Being accepted as a woman tabla player, which is really not a common thing that we see. So I let my music do the talking. You don't want to give an opportunity to people, who are already talking about your gender, to then be also criticizing your art. I worked for close to 7 to 8 years in the whole corporate environment, changing jobs, at the same time doing music side by side. One day I decided it's really not worth it. It's not worth having two identities, and you need to focus on any one. So I quit my job. But of course I was very, very nervous, very scared, because it's like going from a very organized sector to a completely unorganized sector. Going from knowing you get a paycheck every month to not knowing when your next gig is and where your next income is coming from. But I have to say that I was the happiest, because I finally chose to do what I wanted to do, and where my heart was. So yeah, it made me extremely happy. It takes a lot of years of putting your heart and soul into something to really get something in return. I believe that music and art is something that you can't keep to yourself. The more you share, the more you kind of get back in a sense. So I started my school of music, which is known as Tablanaari School of Music. We've all heard the word Aabla Naari, which literally means a woman without strength, Tablanaari. And to me, tabla is my biggest strength, which is why I use tabla as my strength, which is Tablanaari. If you truly believe in what you're doing, it doesn't matter what other people think and what other people, have to say. So tabla is what I'm really passionate about, and music is what keeps me alive.